Just going back to the U.S.-Philippine arrangements, 2012, we're still in Iraq and Afghanistan. The idea of picking a fight with China was clearly more than the U.S. could digest. Um, and as you also may remember, we weren't sure that our mutual defense treaty applied to offshore features, right? So apparently this was an open question at the time. So, but at the end of the day, as you know, it put us in bad stead with the Philippines. Fast forward to today, we're doing a lot more in the Philippines. We're doing more exercises. We're pre-positioning supplies. We're being more voluble in our defense of the Philippines. And today I was reading with Ray that there's some Filipinos who are saying the U.S. should escort Philippine resupply missions to these places. So, where do you think we are in the U.S. Philippine relationship in regards to how the U.S. helps the Philippines secure their rights?
The alliance is in a better place than it's been in at least the last 50 years. The work that's been done over the last 3 years since the 2021 bilateral street dialogue has been remarkable. I mean, we've really not only repaired, but taken this alliance to new heights. A lot of that made possible by the 2019 visit to Manila by then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, in which he publicly for the first time clarified that any attack on Filipino forces anywhere in the South China Sea, disputed or not, would be covered by the treaty. Now, to be clear, internally, within the State Department, this has largely been the position since 1979, and that has been communicated to the Philippines repeatedly. In 1998, then Secretary of Defense Bill Cohen said as much in Manila. He said that the treaty does not only apply to attacks in the Philippines, and that the South China Sea is clearly part of the Western Pacific as defined by the treaty. But Pompeo went out and really kind of, you know, specified that even further. I would push back a little bit. In 2012, we didn't know that the treaty applied to Scarborough because we didn't want to know if the treaty applied to Scarborough. Any archivist or folks in the legal affairs team knew that an unprovoked Chinese attack on Philippine personnel at Scarborough clearly fell within the plain language of the treaty. But treaties all come down to political decisions. We weren't willing to make a political decision in 2012 to back the Philippines. The kind of decision, for instance, we made about the Senkakus with Japan at the exact same time. Now we've changed our minds. We are more politically committed over the course of now 2.5 administrations. I'd say the Obama administration clearly moved in that direction by 2015. Today, the alliance, I think everybody agrees on where the lines are in the NDT, at least when it comes to attacks. We're putting, we quintupled foreign military financing to the Philippines this fiscal year. We've got U.S. access, rotational access to 9 Philippine military facilities under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. We have our first ever set of bilateral defense guidelines, basically the operating manual for the alliance, which is, it tells you something about the way we previously saw the Philippines and the way we see it today. This is our oldest alliance in Asia, and we never bothered to negotiate a set of bilateral defense guidelines. We've done it 3 times with Japan. So what we're seeing now is the Philippines being treated like a real ally. I would argue for the first time in the history of the alliance. Prior to this, the Philippines was treated as a rental agreement. We gave money and they gave us access. Today, the Philippines gets treated the way the U.S. treats Australia, Japan, or Korea.